It takes a village, because for all means for all. Together we'll break down any wall. Linked in love, we won't disarm. We're uniting the grassroots army strong. So press play, feel the spark. This is where the movement starts. It takes a village and we're the proof. Truth in action, raising the roof. It takes a village. It takes a village. We rise together, louder than fear. One voice from fire, crystal clear. From every banner, every street, unity moves on dancing feet. We rise together, we're strong. A million hearts singing one song.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I just heard what you said. Don't even worry about it. I'm not doing anything right now. So I'm glad I'm glad you were able to start. I heard you might have had some technical issues. So I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, I couldn't find the things I needed to find, and then I lost my phone, and then I couldn't all of the things were happening. You know, when one bad thing happens and you're already super stressed, like you're on your way to the doctor and there's a train and you get stuck behind the train. That's what my whole afternoon has been like. So, you know,
You
it's
hit
good
every
times.
red light.
Every red light. I'm in a hurry and I hit every single red light. So yes. Hey, Norguy, welcome in. So we're doing something a little bit different today. Let me actually, Kayla, do you want me to put you up here too? Do you want me to put you up here since you are also, one of the people that this might be, feel free to decline the invite. She's not even in here. She popped in and then she was like, nope, not staying. Okay, cool. That's fine. No, she'll be back. She's probably switching accounts. So, doing stuff behind the scenes.
Oh wow, so
Fabulous.
mysterious.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shocking and amazing. Okay, so here's what we are doing tonight, you guys. First of all, tap up the live, share it out to your friends. We have an amazing candidate who's going to be joining us in just about 25 minutes here. But in the meantime, we're talking to Arya. Is it Arya? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, you got it. That's no one ever really gets it the first time, so that's good omen, I think.
I watched Game of Thrones. I mean,
Oh,
what can I
perfect.
say? So,
It's helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
That show has helped me out a lot in life.
I love it. I love that for you. So we are having sort of a little meeting of the minds here, because I wanted to talk to you guys about you are a citizen of the great state of New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
You are also incredibly politically active.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me, first of all, what does your activism look like? What do you do to help inspire the vote in New Hampshire? And then we'll get into the mud, so to speak.
Absolutely. So I am a New Hampshire native. I grew up in New Hampshire. I was born and raised in New Hampshire, in a small town called Pelham, which is about 10,000 people. It is the most conservative part of New Hampshire, and every Republican, I mean, it's a small town, and every Republican presidential candidate visits my small town during Old Home Day. It's got that kind of power in that state. And so I left for a while, and I was for the longest time, I was always politically active, mostly on the internet, without being really active in person. And I felt like I was making a lot of change that way, and came to find out I wasn't making as much change as I wanted to. So when I came home, came to New Hampshire after I was in LA, and in 2020 I came back to New Hampshire, and I realized that I could do a lot more work on my neighborhood than I could, on a national level. And New Hampshire is just a bunch of small neighborhoods. We don't have any major. We have two or three big cities, if you want to call them cities, my activism now is there's a lot of it online. I do have a Twitch show and a TikTok live with a friend of mine, Marissa, who has a much larger following than me, who It's just the mom, you know, she got activated the same way as I did.
Yeah.
She wanted to fix her neighborhood, and now we promote events that are going on around New Hampshire. We try to get people to show up in physical spaces because that's the way we are going to convince an electorate that doesn't normally vote during primaries to show up and vote for their interests.
Right. I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, especially, you know, it's not enough to just vote anymore. You know, a lot of people just show up to the polls and they go and they, you know, do their duty, and then they leave and they think that their civic duty is complete. And it's not, you know, we're not in that moment anymore, right? Like, we have to do more. And I love that you are doing that. You're actually putting boots on the ground. You're talking to candidates, right? You're getting the word out. You're doing what you can, and I absolutely love that. But
Absolutely.
You know, I live in Texas, first of all. So I'm not throwing shade at your senators, because my senators are worse. If I'm being totally honest. Okay.
For sure.
However, what is happening in New Hampshire with your senators specifically, both of them being senators that supported reopening the government after however many days we suffered. and we got nothing. So,
Yeah.
and I understand that one of your senators, and you can tell me more about what happened, but there was apparently, this is what they're saying. This is the narrative. There was a heckler in the crowd that yelled at a senator about the healthcare thing. That is what they're saying. It was just a heckler. Why don't you clear the air? And can you give us the real story about what happened, and so that we can actually like shed some light on this? Because I for one feel like, and a lot of people probably feel the same way, that sunlight is the best disinfectant. So, can you share with
Snap
us
to that.
what happened?
Absolutely.
Exactly?
Absolutely, and I should clarify too. I forget to say this. I am the comms director for a U.S. congressional candidate. It's something I forget to say as well. It's Paige Boschman. She is primarying one of our establishment Democrats, which I feel strongly about. That is why I jumped. I'm not a lifelong political consultant. You know, my voice was something that she enjoyed, and I would love to have you guys go to pagefornewhampshire.com if you guys get a chance.
She'll be on our show.
But I heard that actually, which
Yeah,
is great.
she's
I'm
booked.
so excited to see her on there. Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect, awesome. I hear you have a lot of New Hampshire progressives books, so I'm excited to see that.
Wonder why that is. I wonder why.
Yeah,
that
I
is.
know. It's a good time for that. But yeah, just to clear the air for you guys, because we find it very funny here. So we've built our own community here called NH Talk or NH Talks, and it's something that we share amongst each other, like local stories, national stories that are related to what's going on in New Hampshire. And obviously, we found it very interesting the way the media was talking about what had happened there, that it was like a random heckler in a Democratic dinner. But what this dinner was a fundraising dinner by the biggest suits in the Democratic Party. So Cory Booker was the keynote speaker there, and here in my town, Nashua, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And seats were like $250 to get in, or $10,000 for a table right in the front, like $10K. Now, I want to just give you a quick juxtaposition. If you go to my profile, you'll see I'm very active here in person too. And Nashua, the same town, it's the second largest city in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Recently voted to criminalize the unhoused, pretty much criminalize poverty. Yeah, and a majority of Democrats too. Democrats voted yes on that. The same establishment Democrats that had this, kind of juxtaposition dinner. And at this dinner, long story short, the narrative is, like you said, it's a heckler, someone who's just yelling at the senator, and the senator had a great response, but that room was full of establishment people, and maybe 3 or 4 tables clapped. We know that based on the people that were in the room. We know people that were in the room. We know candidates that were in the room. They were saying that did not get the type of establishment response or the kind of the round of applause people were looking for. It felt performative. And when they said, you know what, And Jean Shaheen's retiring, mind you all. She's on her way out the door, so this is very easy for her to whip up votes and be kind of like the one that's taking the heat here. But the details here are very important, and the detail is the person doing the heckling is one of the most progressive state representatives in New Hampshire. His name is Heath Howard. He's running for a congressional seat. And he's 25 years old, kind of this insurgent candidate. And the person that's running against him in this open seat is Jean Shaheen's daughter, Stephanie Shaheen, who is part of we call them the monarchy of New Hampshire, right? The Shaheens are everywhere. People, I'm sure they hear, if you're outside of New Hampshire, they hear about the Shaheens kind of loosely as part of being like moderate Democratic movement, but they have their hands everywhere. They have her husband is part of a law firm that works for the Democratic Party, is the only law firm that works for the Democratic Party. They have a position on the executive council. I don't want to bore basically the corruption is beyond what, even though they're on our team, right? And then you realize why some of these, the shutdown stuff, I know pissed a lot of people off, pissed off all of us here in New Hampshire. It was not representative of the populace at all.
Yeah, it kind of sounds that way. And I also hear through a little birdie that when you call to express your opinion to your representatives that you can't get through because their voicemails are full.
Yes, right now, because of the amount of calls and again, this is a testament to the New Hampshire community too, right? Who all picked up the phone, called. I heard every one of their state and national voicemails were filled up. That is surreal. The fact that they would even admit that that was the case is surreal too. And the narrative they were giving, a lot of these offices were giving, was that most of the calls were in support of opening the government up, which is insane. There is no shot. There's no shot whether or not you think the internet's a real place, and the real voters are out on the streets, those people were incensed too. I mean, incensed enough where, again, I just want to give some details on Heath Howard, the person who was the heckler. That was not in the bag of tricks we thought. I mean, Heath Howard is not the type of person we all imagined to be the front, the tip of the spear in the, yelling at our establishment. I think that was a bigger sign to a lot of us that, wow, this anger is real. You can feel it in even some of the probably calmest, most bipartisan. I wouldn't call him bipartisan. He's not, politicians aren't really hated here the way they're hated nationally. It's a little bit different. The system's a little bit different.
I mean, I think that's great. And it sounds like the people of New Hampshire are putting in the work to make some changes. And I think that's awesome, and it's what we need. So, yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us about New Hampshire politics? Because I know that we will be talking quite a bit.
No, I would just I would just say thank you so much for having me on here. I would tell everyone that all these progressive movements they depend on each other. We can't do anything here in New Hampshire. We're not going to beat the establishment without help from progressive movements all around the country. And, it was the same with Zohran Mamdani. We know it's the same with Graham Plattner up in Maine. All these candidates are connected. And I would just behoove if you guys can follow me, and I have the same username on Twitch. We run a Twitch live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern. And we would love to have you on there someday, Jess, if you'd like to join us and talk to us about your experience, because I see you. I try to come here as much as I can, and you guys are doing great work here. So I appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
Amazing. I would love to. I actually don't have a Twitch account yet, but maybe that's something I need to remedy because
it's super easy.
Who knows what's happening with this app? That's
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Kayla, welcome up. Did you have a question for our guest?
No, I just want to say thanks, Aria, for coming up and representing New Hampshire. I just wanted to let everyone know he's just not this little guy that's on the sideline. He's one of our warriors, our fighters. He is out there at every meeting. He's pushing all the content on his TikTok and Twitch, and him and Marissa, they do a couple, like they do 3 lives, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, correct?
Yep.
And,
12 to
yep,
2
and
Eastern.
yeah, and he's getting all of us New Hampshire people together, going in the right direction. And he's an amazing guy. He has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge of the Middle East conflicts that
Jeez.
are going on.
You guys are amazing.
So,
This is unreal.
and so don't let him downplay. He's a great guy and he's very, very knowledgeable. And thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. No, seriously, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the kind words.
Next time you go live, make sure to invite me. I'd be happy to pop in there, and we can chat about what's going on.
Sounds great. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you so much. We will send you. I will send you the thing so you can do the clips.
Yeah. So perfect.
Yes,
Love it.
got you. I got you.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
And
guys.
you need to join Blues Sue.
Yeah, I saw these.
Yes, you
I
need
saw
to join
the Blue
them.
Sue. The last podcast, the last show, you guys were talking about Blue Sue, and I jumped in and said it's for phone banking, right? I think I signed up for that. Did I sign
Yeah,
up? I'm gonna double check.
They do so many things. They do so many things to help push democracy forward. So absolutely sign up with them. They have tons of ideas. Their Discord is a wealth of information, and Kels, who runs it, in Kels and Levi and Mims, they're all just in Uncle too. They're all total badasses, certified
Yeah, I bet.
badasses.
Yep,
So,
we're trying to push Afton through right now.
Yep.
Virginia, is she Virginia?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yep.
And
Fantastic.
so we're
Yep.
trying to phone bank for everyone who needs help across the country, get everyone going in the right directions, and like get our grassroots candidates out there. So
Yep.
it's
Matt
it's
says it
really a
best.
great organization. Love it.
Phone banks,
Yeah, I'm gonna have
candidate
to.
interviews,
I'll follow
resources,
everyone in this
etc.
room.
Definitely, please do. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure that when Rio gets on here, more people will jump in the room. But we'll be definitely sharing your information as well. Thank you so much for taking the
Sounds
time
great.
to chat with us. Before you
Sounds
go,
great.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I love both. I always thought that I would be a dog person, but my aunt got a cat that I am like is in love with me, and I love it, and I think I might be a cat person now. I don't know what it is. It's just like overnight it kind of happened. I don't know if that's the right answer, but it's the truth. I'm sorry.
Hey, there isn't a right answer or wrong answer as long as
I love dogs though. Still love them.
I do too. The thing is about cats though is that they are like so independent and they don't need you at all. Like they don't need you for anything. So
Absolutely.
and they have so much personality, especially the orange ones. I just love them. So yes.
For sure.
Also, one more question, just so everybody knows. If you have had like a very hard day, it's been a really, really rough day, and you have access to any kind of comfort food you possibly want, what are you ordering?
If it's any kind of comfort food, a warm cinnamon bun. But it has to be warm, and it has to have like the unhealthiest, most sugary syrup on it,
Frosting?
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, frosting, yeah.
Does it have walnuts in it?
Wow. This is yes, if possible. I'll take the walnuts, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Noted. Hey, everybody, just so you know, Aria likes warm cinnamon buns with walnuts and extra super sugary frosting. I happen to make a delicious
Absolutely.
one, so I'll send it up to New Hampshire, and hopefully it'll still be good by the time
Please.
it gets there. Okay.
I'm sure it will.
All right, I appreciate it. Uncle Daddy, you haven't missed a thing. Thank you so much, Aria, and please pop on anytime, okay?
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much. So, Uncle Daddy, you actually have not missed a thing except the little, fireside chat we just had about New Hampshire. Aria, thank you so much for stopping by. We were just chatting about New Hampshire's Senate situation. We're going to go ahead and get started. Ladies and gents and everyone in between, welcome to It Takes a Village. Wow. Boy, let's try that again. Welcome to It Takes a Village, where we don't just talk politics, we platform people building power from the ground up. I am your charming and furious host, Political Jess, and let's be clear, I'm not going anywhere. Not today, not tomorrow, and not until the grassroots win, and not even then, who knows. Before we dive in, let's go over some ground rules, because this is a safe space for real talk and not chaos. If you have a question for our guest, please request up. You'll get one question and one follow-up, and our candidates will get about 2 minutes per answer to respond. I don't really time you, so that's okay. 18 plus only, because minor safety matters. Please stick to current events, keep it respectful, and remember this is not a debate stage. Trolls, hecklers, and bad faith actors, immediate ejection. No refunds, no regrets.
No refund.
No refunds.
No regrets.
While we are chatting, please tap up the screen, share out the live. Every tap helps push out the stream to the FYP, which means more eyes on these incredible candidates who are fighting for all of us. And hey, have you seen the new goodies in our subsection? It's stickers, that's right, little trinkets of joy for your viewing pleasure. Please use them as you desire. Superfans get access to exclusive polls, threads, and there may be even a swanky sticker in there designed for our next guest. And listen, I know it is super tempting to shower these guests with gifts from TikTok, and we love that energy, but just a heads up, TikTok does take a big old bite out of those cheeses when you do that. So while we appreciate the love, we love that you do that. We love that energy. We'll be dropping the direct donation links for our candidates so you can donate without the middleman, and they get a bigger piece of the cheese. So speaking of our next candidate, he hails from the great state of West Virginia, here to shake things up in the best possible way. Please give a warm and rowdy grassroots welcome to the incomparable Rio Phillips.
Jess, you're amazing. What an incredible, like, your radio voice, the sound effect, like you're really doing the thing.
I'm doing the thing, man. I'm doing the thing. So thank you so much for joining us. I will start off by asking, there's 2 questions that I ask every candidate before we open up the panel for everyone. Okay, the first question is this. You have heard about the straw that breaks the camel's back. Right?
Yes.
We are not being hit with straws. We are being hit with the whole effing camel. The whole effing camel in the face all the time, repeatedly. It is very uncomfortable. So if you could tell me what the camel was that broke your back, that inspired you to run for office, and what your constituency would look like.
I love that question. Okay, the straw that broke my back. We could talk a lot because I've been active organizing communities for resistance since 2003. So that's 22 years of that. But on this end of things, in West Virginia, it really started in January. I snuck into the inauguration wearing a MAGA hat. This makes me MAGA passing, the kids like to say. So I infiltrated the inauguration and screamed "Free Palestine" and got 30,000 Trumpers to scream at me. Met the Secret Service and managed to get out of that building using my white male privilege, and somehow did not get in trouble. Which, had I been, I think, a woman or a person of color, I probably would have been in a lot of trouble. But I did just walk out of there. And I came back to West Virginia, and I just could feel the silence. I could feel the uneasiness. Elon had just done his crazy Roman salute, and I was immediately shifting to whatever the opposition to that was. Like, it was just like, no, absolutely not. That I would say, with the second he went full Roman, um, was my broken back on your question.
That wasn't a pageant
And I was just like,
wave, you know,
that was just a pageant wave.
not a pageant wave.
No. Um, and I was just so disgusted by that I began organizing immediately. As soon as I got back, first major rally of the year was like February 5th, so literally only a couple weeks after inauguration. I have not stopped rallying and organizing since the inauguration. It's been an absolutely insane year. Rallied and spoken in front of thousands of people this year. Um, West Virginians, West Virginians against Trump. I want you to imagine that back in February when we did this, it was this like almost like a pop-up Antifa block, but full of senior citizens. So just imagine that like all of a sudden you're surrounded by like 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old West Virginians who want to stop fascism.
Wow.
That was what it was back in January, and it hasn't stopped. Um, these West Virginians are serious, and they are amazing, and they will not tolerate the crap that they're being put through. And these folks are the only folks recognizing and doing something about being on the bottom of the barrel, like the literal bottom of the barrel. We finish last in almost every possible ranking. And so the people I've surrounded myself with are, I think, the strongest and most intelligent West Virginians. And we are mounting a resistance to fascism here in what they would call Trump country. But it's not Trump country. And we're turning this state a swing state. And that's that. We are not Trump country. We're not what they think we are.
I love that. I love that. So the second question that I ask every candidate that comes onto our panel, you would consider yourself a progressive. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Without question. Yep.
So here is my question for you. Many voters, especially young, working class, marginalized communities, LGBTQIA folks, feel betrayed by candidates who run on bold progressive platforms but quickly compromise or abandon those values once they're elected. If you win this seat, and you will win this seat because we manifest that shit around here, okay?
Let's manifest. Let's go.
Yes. How will you ensure that your actions match your promises, especially when pressured by party leadership, corporate donors, or political expediency? Tell me about your plan to stay rooted in the grassroots moments that got you here.
Transparency is central. I currently have no corporate donors, no foreign lobbying money, and I'm extremely transparent with my campaign and my people, all my supporters. I don't plan on stopping that, obviously. Definitely never going to take APAC money. Once we get elected, there is a huge torn in half sort of thing that will happen where there's what I call backroom power versus street power.
Mm-hmm.
And because I am born of street power and not backroom power, I have no money. I'm the poorest U.S. Senate candidate in Senate history, I'm sure. I literally work in hospitality right now. So I'm, kind of an older male AOC, if anything. But where was I going? Once I said male AOC, I threw myself up. Can you repeat your question so that I will come right back to where I was?
Of course I can. So I wanted to know what your plan was to stay rooted in the
Stay rooted, thank
grassroots
you.
movements that got you where
Thank
you
you.
are today.
Street power versus backroom power. Don't have my brain. I have promised, and I continue to make this promise, and I will make this promise all the way through to the general and through the victory. On day one of my swearing in, I will go from the Capitol Rotunda to the steps of the Capitol and begin the sit-in for the working class of the United States of America. and start with the story of West Virginia's working class. That sit-in, I will work to keep 24/7, 365 through every season, uh, through everything. I will basically attempt to protect and grandfather a street movement into protection in DC. I would spend a lot of my time out there, and I don't plan on having backroom power without street power. Because I am street power, I plan on bringing the streets to the back rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where it's going to get interesting. So, this is I represent a complete inversion of everything people expect from politicians. I don't want to be a politician. My motto is, I don't want to be a politician. I want to be a public servant, and I could not possibly say it better than that.
I think that most politicians have lost that desire these days, so it is incredibly refreshing to hear that from you.
I don't ever want to be a politician. I think if I was amassing backroom power without my street transparency, I've lost my mettle.
Yeah.
I'd be very disappointed in myself for that. Yep.
So are you planning on like making this a career, or are you just running like one or two terms and then passing the torch to the next generation? What is your plan?
I'm trying to blaze a trail that's going to end cannabis prohibition permanently across the country, unlock billions in tax revenue across the country, change the laws, change the incrimination of our marginalized communities for such a victimless activity. And it's the blazing of the trail that matters most. I think I'm always going to just do what the people want to the best of my ability. I'm 44, and I will be 45 upon victory should I win. And that puts me out at the end of that term at 51. That's still very young.
Mm-hmm.
There's people, I'm just going to be honest. There's people that will say, and I tend to agree only because I vision a future doing this possibly, that if I should say, when we win West Virginia,
Manifest, yes.
and flip it blue, when we make West Virginia blue again, as I like to say,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that gives us a mandate possibly straight to the White House, because we have done the politically impossible. So it would thunder through the nation that we have done this. And I do think it's extremely possible. Like, I'm seeing things in ways that no one imagined possible. And it's only because I'm not disillusioned by being a part of the machine. I'm not a politician. I've never been elected to office. I'm just a working class guy doing my best from the outside. And we amazingly, I want to say that we are on top right now in what we're doing, because we have the most momentum. We don't have the most money, but we also are the poorest people in the whole country. And coming up from that is a real challenge, especially in the fundraising aspect of things. And we are working to break into larger fundraising circles and metrics. But for the moment, we have all the momentum, all the people, all the excitement, all the energy that our competitors absolutely do not have. And we are scooping up the people and the momentum and the energy in waves where we know our competitors aren't. And that's extremely exciting. I could not be more confident going into this primary. I do expect to win the primary. I do expect to win the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate from West Virginia. I do expect that. I don't think our primary competitor has a chance. We could talk about him as much as anyone wants, but I don't think he has a chance for a lot of reasons. And I think for all the reasons he doesn't stand a chance, we do. And that's what I'm excited about. So there's so much here. We could really talk. Like, I want to just dig in and give you guys as much as you want.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, so to speak, tonight. So the whole goal tonight is to for people to get to know you. right? I don't really do gotcha questions. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire on, unless you say something that's problematic, then I'll probably do that. But the whole
I would
goal
expect
tonight,
it even no matter what. I basically empower people. I always want to be challenged. I want to be able to look it in the face and not run and stay people facing, because if that isn't the metric by which a public servant does a good job, then what is? And then it's just a constant running away from transparency,
yeah,
right? That's all they're doing, is just running away all the time.
definitely.
And it's
Thank you.
ridiculous. It's tired, is what it is. I'm tired of it, and I don't want to put anyone else through that. So
Yeah,
I just want to answer everyone's questions all the time.
and I love that. We actually, I'm from Texas. I'm in Texas right now, and our senators and our representatives haven't really had a town hall to hear us in a very long time. They don't really care what we have to say. So I love that we are that you are open to hear from everyone, and I hope that I know it well. I know it well. That you will keep
Yeah, and
that
you had said
mentality.
you had asked me about who my constituents were, and
Yeah.
the bulk of it, like, we are old and young, we are black, white, brown, gay, straight. We are all the things, right? We are literally all of it. And the main goal is not how do I speak to the left or Democrats. It's how do I convert Trumpers, and how do I convert the right, and how do I approach the challenge of winning Republicans at a moment like this in history. And once again, up to the task, not scared of it. Let's go.
The beard helps. The beard helps. I
The
mean,
beard helps
you know,
a lot.
yeah, the beard helps. So your campaign emphasizes being people powered. So what does
Yes.
that look like to you in practice, and how can everyday West Virginians get involved?
It looks like the fact that I'm literally surrounded by West Virginians. Like we don't run some sort of like an insulated filtration system where like people have to talk to my managers and does all this other blah 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 to get to me. I generally am available to people, and I'm surrounded by good, hardworking people, many of which are watching right now and commenting. Hi guys, love all of you, by the way. And
Amazing.
people powered is like what we lack in money right now, we make up for passion and purpose, and we have that in spades, and it honestly fills in the hole. I'll give you an example. My competitor has spent over $60,000 on a single Facebook ad trying to go viral, and it didn't even reach over 1 million people. And he has spent in the last 3 months over $130,000, multiple West Virginia salaries, and hasn't even made a public appearance yet. While we are approaching 5,000 funds raised, have made multiple public appearances, have fed the homeless, driven to DC, rallied and protested in DC, come back, continued. I mean, it's just like we're running circles around him for pennies on the dollar. And
Yeah.
it's extraordinary. And we have higher numbers, higher virality, higher reach for less money. In fact, I have multiple videos that got more views all for free for what he paid $60,000 for. It's like, whoa, like, what's happening here? I can take these metrics, look at West Virginians and go, do you want me to save you money and get more done? Hire me.
Yeah, right. I think that's a no-brainer, especially now when we're seeing so much government waste and just there's just a lot. There's a lot that we could talk about. So let's talk about economic justice and working class power. Okay.
Do it.
How do you ensure that federal investments in infrastructure and clean energy reach West Virginia's poorest counties, not just corporate developers or political insiders?
It's going to take me bringing that street power into the back room. It's going to take me banging down the walls. It's going to take me standing up to the lobbyists consistently, not caving, speaking exactly as I am a year from now. It's going to take all of that. And then some. It's going to take the people around me standing strong and holding ground. It's going to take massive campaigns of purpose, of messaging and mission to really shift the goalpost. And I am committed to shifting the goalpost, but it's in West Virginia, where coal reigns supreme. I cannot take an outwardly anti-coal stance. It would be foolish. It would be anti-West Virginian and completely counterproductive. So the positions I take energy-wise are going to be more advanced and nuanced than I think some Democrats from, like, say, New York would want it to be. But that being said, I talk about diversified energy all the time. To me, diversified energy is the answer. That way we don't have too much reliance on coal, which right now we do. And to that end, the industry has been gutted by automation and robotics, and all of our workforce has shrunk down. We just had somebody die in a mine like last week, and it's unalived. I apologize. Unalived in a mine last week, and it's all of our flags are at half mast because this gentleman went into the shaft and saved other miners, and it just becomes, we have constant occupational safety hazards from this. The communities are affected by the coal dust. The black lung is still in the air. The black lung is a major issue. Our miners are dealing with it. Our miners were just in DC rallying for Congress to acknowledge black lung as a legitimate problem that they're ignoring, and on and on and on. So I say that I am pro coal only by being pro coal worker, and to that end, collective bargaining rights and health protections for them on the work site. And as of now, the GOP is doing an absolutely horrendous job of that. So I will double down on all of that.
I love that.
Does that make sense? It's nuanced. It's tricky. West Virginia coal just drives the story here.
Clear as mud. Yes. I'm just kidding. Yes, coal is probably more of a higher export commodity than stateside. You're right, Uncle Daddy. That is accurate. So can you tell me what your plan is? And I know that as a U.S. Senator, your policies and your stances on things are not going to be they're not going to be locally driven, right? They're going to be things that affect every state in the union. So what is your plan to break the cycle of poverty in places like West Virginia and Alabama and Texas? And let's be real, it's mostly southern states, right? How do you plan on doing that through union protections, living wages, and worker-owned cooperatives?
Okay, couple ways. One is I'm one of the only people running for office demanding a $28 an hour federal minimum wage. It's number one. I demand $20 an hour with a five-year transition period. That's way more progressive than even Bernie, who's like a $15 an hour minimum wage over 10 years. I say that's simply not enough. He's towing the line with people in Congress. I don't have to do that. I can come in like a wrecking ball and demand more, as it should be. We simultaneously have to address the hyperinflation, which is exorbitant military defense budgets, things that we simply can't afford anymore because our economy is in literal free fall. So until we address hyperinflation, the prices will continue to rise. The prices continuing to rise are the source of the poverty, ultimately. And this is where, if we start to systematically address, the lack of the rising federal minimum wage in concurrence with the rate of inflation, right? So instead of punishing American workers by not raising the minimum wage with inflation, which is exactly what we've done, which results in a dependence on SNAP benefits, which results in food insecurity, as we just experienced, instead of people just being paid what they're worth.
Right.
So we're going to go into Congress screaming about how much people are worth and addressing hyperinflation systematically and religiously. Because for me, hyperinflation is a central issue. Absolutely central. I'm one of the only people that's been watching the national debt religiously this whole time. I started tracking the national debt when it was like 12 trillion. We are at almost 40 now. And we are set to, yeah, I mean, it's almost, I would say 15 years I've been tracking that thing. And we are set to go. I want you to imagine that 250 years, right? We're all about to experience the 250. Okay. In that 250 years, we went from zero debt to 39 trillion dollars in debt, from 0 to 250 as America. In the next 4 years, from 250 to 254, we're going another 10 trillion into debt in the next 4 years. So just imagine, it took us 250 to go almost 40. It's going to go 4 years to go 10 trillion. Does that sound like a free fall to you? Does that sound like a stable economy to you? Of course not. Everything's going to get more expensive. Everything. And unless the federal minimum wage rises dramatically to empower American workers, they will be left in the dust, requiring subsidies like SNAP forever. And that is unacceptable. It's a hyperinflation addressing and a federal minimum wage addressing. That is how I believe we can solve this problem.
Tell me how you feel about the super wealthy and what we need to do with them.
I don't ever like making blanket statements about groups, because there are always exceptions to rules, and it's just like, I think politicians, I think what makes a person a politician is they're more willing to make sweeping statements about things. I don't like doing that. So yeah, do I throw a power fist when people say eat the rich? Sure. Do I want to actually eat the rich? No. Do I want them to pay their fair share? Yes. Do I want them to have pre-Ronald Reagan tax rates? Yeah, I do. No more trickle down. Didn't work. So Republicans used to have great rich tax rates for decades. And that's why we did so well, is because the rich were being taxed well. And then Reagan came in and just absolutely smashed that and said, oh, we're going to trickle it down, when none of it did. And now we can see that even Donald Trump is using, Reagan-esque same policies of, send it to the top and hope it trickles down. Obviously, this doesn't work. So we could really dig in.
Definitely.
I do believe in my heart that a victory for this campaign will send a message to the whole world that West Virginia is not what you think it is. It's just not. Like, our motto is wild and wonderful, but I know that until we become less regressive and we can actually have a cannabis policy that liberates our people, that sets us on the course of fixing our problems, creating and building infrastructure, until we do these things, we will not be wild and wonderful. And that will be something we attain to but never achieve until we actually prioritize liberty, freedom, and financial success. And we have not done that in West Virginia. So that's what this campaign's priority is liberty, freedom, and financial success. And enough with the nonsense. Enough.
And honestly, I don't think that little sound bite, Lordy, I hope he was bringing his phone into the toilet with him. But I don't think of West Virginians like that at all. I think they're resourceful. They're incredibly smart. They are, hi V. They are hardworking, incredibly hardworking people that deserve fair representation. And they don't have that right now. And that's why I love that you're on, because I think that people in West Virginia deserve a chance, and they don't have that right now with the representation that they have. So
I feel very blessed that this campaign exists to constantly bring the conversation back to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep doing that all the way through May and all the way through November. People can try and crap on us all they like. We get crapped on. We're used to being crapped on. That's what it is. We don't, it doesn't faze us. We're not, you can't stop us. We know that if we can shake off MAGA here in West Virginia,
They ain't got a
possible everywhere.
chance. They don't have a chance
possible everywhere.
anywhere. I love it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Fabulous Finds, my friend V, my heart, my BFF. Do you have a question for our candidate
I
today?
do actually. I have a question and a comment. So one of the things that I do want to say, because as soon as I heard that person, whatever, come on, I immediately had to say something, because one of the things that really stuck with me at the very beginning, when you said that I don't want to be a politician, I want to be a servant, that has been so lost for so long in our government in general. And the fact that you said I will never take APAC money also is just a huge reason why I would support anybody that actually stood by that statement every single time. Because what has happened, and it continues to happen moreover, because all of these politicians that come into politics and become millionaires over time, just based on their inside track with what's going on and taking money from, or interested parties in what it is that they're wanting to have votes for, it's just become so corrupt. And one of the things that I've noticed over specifically the course of the last 6 months, but in particular the last 2 to 3 months, one of the things that people, because the defection from MAGA has been so substantial in just even the last 2 weeks, where people are they're leaving in boatfuls of, it's like they're leaving the Titanic right now. And they know that that's what's happening. And because of just like that person that just came on right now and acted an absolute fucking idiot here, sorry, but that was what that was.
I mean, that's
He acted the way that he did. That alone is what's actually going to get us to the other side of what this has been for a while. I had somebody really close to me actually talk to me at the very beginning of this, like when, the orange orangutan came into office, and he said, your party is cooked, like you're done. And I honestly was so upset about that, because I thought, how do you not see what's actually happening? And now I see the same exact person actually starting to see everything that's happening. And it's that mentality that's going to lead us into the next wave of us actually taking control of our government in general. It's going to take a long time for us to get back to where we need to be. But mentality like this, there's more of us than there are of them, and they're going to start seeing the level of immaturity. And one of the things that I've actually, we've been so tolerant for so long, but we no longer need to be quiet. And I've gotten to be so effing loud about how it is that I feel about things, and we can no longer be quiet about things that are wrong. So people actually standing 10 toes down and saying, no, 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 where we used to just kind of like look away and not say anything, because we didn't want to conflict, and we didn't want to get in the face of someone else. We have to just start calling everything out, calling out what this guy just did right now, and say that that's bullshit and we're not going to stand for it. So knowing that we are no longer the tolerant left, and exactly, we are intolerant of bullshit. And that's what we have to start doing, and standing up to that. And we need to start being louder. And we don't have to be disgusting and grotesque like that person was, but we do need to call it out and stop being tolerant in any way, shape, or form, and say, no bullshit, no bullshit, 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 and call it out every time.
Let me give you an example of how I think the Democrats have just completely been powerless and impotent and absurd. Remember the time when it was like, I think like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi were like at the doors of like that one agency, and there was like that one security guy that was like, no, you can't come in. And everyone's like, what are we going to do? There's one security guy in the way.
Right.
And you're like, why don't you take the millions of dollars the Democrats have, go hire corporate security, get their asses over there, and push the guy out of the damn way?
Right.
I do not understand. They seriously just bent right over, took all of this streaming exactly as it was, and barely stood up to it. Let me give you another example. I have started to develop a piece of legislation that emboldens local communities and states against federal abuses of ICE and CBP and like this. So basically, I call it the Peace Act. I'm forgetting my acronym at the moment. If I can remember it, I'll tell you. But basically, I call it the Peace Act. It's designed to embolden local communities to share resources and streamline communication in the event of federal abuses. And we're seeing federal abuses across the board right now. So essentially, I want to force Republicans to vote no. This is what we should be doing for optics. This is where Democrats just fail it. They don't understand that we should be forcing Republicans to vote no on things that sound absolutely useful. So basically that, why wouldn't Republicans want local communities to be able to fight federal incursions better? Because they're the ones behind the federal incursions. So we want them saying no to these things. You said no to allowing a community to access resources for legal protections. Like, why? Because you want the federal incursion.
Right.
And this is what we're talking about. And I'm ready to frame them in ways like make it so they can't change the age of consent. Make it so that it seems like they're pushing to make the age of consent less. So a law that says you can't change it and force them to vote that you can. And then now the optics are reversed and now they look like a bunch of PDFs, which we already know they are. Well, the point is we have to expose them with this stuff.
The thing about the reducing the age of consent, this is what I find so interesting about that. They actually want to go ahead and reduce the age of consent, but not when it comes to actually prosecuting a man, when it comes to him actually abusing a woman. If he's 18, then they don't want to go ahead and prosecute. They want to go ahead and prosecute him as an adolescent or as a child. There was a case, and I can't think of what it is right now, right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But there was this guy that actually had actually raped a 13-year-old girl, and he was not prosecuted. They didn't want to try him as an adult. They wanted to try him as a child. But then it was okay for him to, and then they were making the girl old enough to go ahead and give consent. How in the F does that make any freaking sense? They were two oxymorons completely. So it's only going to be okay, like the age of consent when it comes to prosecution and allowing people to violate women or violate children in general that was in Utah? Yeah. So for me, we need to just be clear about those particular things. And one of the things that I am so sick and tired of actually seeing happen over and over again is the way that the left continues to just bend over backwards to not go ahead and create a rift in the base. And one of the things that I definitely do not want to see, and it's not that I think that people with an older generation, an older generation cannot do what they need to do, but if you don't know how to work social media, you don't even need to be in office. I'm sorry, but if you don't know how to work social media, you need to get the F out.
Yeah,
because this is where we are.
You've missed the call.
You're done. You're done. And I've got 12 years on you, bud. So, and I know how to work social media. I'm 56. I know how to work social media. So if you don't know how to do that, then you just need to leave. Because there's no place for you here. Nancy Pelosi should have left a long time ago. I think she did some great things, but I also think that she was not a very good person in general. And she should have left a long time ago. The same way with Mitch McConnell needs to kick rocks. There's so many of them that need to be gone if they don't know how to go ahead and build up with the times.
I'd love to put an exclamation mark. I'd love to stamp an exclamation mark on what you're saying. MAGA represents a split from the GOP, right? They're dragging the GOP to the right. That represents a split. And right now there's a huge civil war on the right because you have, I would say, reasonable Republicans like Thomas Massey starting to drift back to the center, and even Marjorie Taylor Greene drifting back to the center. We all see Marjorie Taylor Greene now drifting. She's now out. She's not in Trump world anymore because it's drifting to the right. What I want to do is, as a progressive working class Democrat, I want to drift the DNC to the left. So what does that mean? That means free Medicare for all. That means free public university and trade school. Ideally, in the deprohibition of cannabis, also we would see, I would like to see universal child care. So we just saw New Mexico initiate universal child care. I would like to see universal child care for West Virginians. I believe that cannabis can afford that and can pay for that, as well as broadband infrastructure, as well as homeless services, as well as increased mental health services. I believe that the money's there. And there are active, legitimate models, economic models coming from states out west and even some of our neighbors that are already working way better than what we have. We are super regressive and and just been left in the dust on this. I represent a political force that wants to bring all of that back to the forefront and say immediate now. This is urgent. We cannot tolerate regressive 1950 reefer madness policies anymore. We can't play this game. We have got to own it, step up, and take it serious, because 40 states have descheduled, and we West Virginians have $34 million sitting from medical cannabis already sitting in an account that cannot be touched because Republicans, GOP, don't want to break federal law. So the 34 million just sits in an account untouched. That 34 million represents, as far as I'm concerned, 34 billion that would come from a total descheduling and a complete legalization, and then an empowering of our economy through increased tourism, increased agricultural activity, increased financial investment. And this is where we start to tie in the energy diversity. And we start to look at alternative energies, or as I like to call them, future energies, because calling them green is, I might as well just go ahead and cancel my campaign.
Don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
You don't say green, and I don't say universal. So I got to figure out a way to say universal childcare without saying universal. The three words you don't say: green, socialist, and universal. And if I can find ways to rebrand those things, then I will do that.
Right.
Uncle Daddy, thank you so much for popping up on the panel. What question do you have for Rio tonight?
Hey, Rio. Hey.
What's up, brother?
I have a question. Not much. So, I think the Democrats, we have a platform of giving true reality, a dose of reality. And the dose of reality that coal is a unaliving commodity. Eventually it won't be there, or to be less used. A lot of these power companies that has built in the last 20, 25 years was always set up to where they can run natural gas whenever it became available and cheaper.
Right.
And that's what a lot of them done. My question is, Virginia Tech, they may not be good in football right now. I think they had a few good wins, but they are damn good at tech stuff, at teaching people technology, just stuff like that. How do you get the West Virginia young men and women, everyone on board that, hey, you're not saying it harshly, but look out, it is coal is becoming less of, and this is more of, how do we get them involved in learning more trade jobs? And some of it may cause them to move out of the state or out of their cities, but I think that's the problem. Politicians has failed them of giving them broken promises of coal, Republican politicians, that coal will always be here, and it's not. So other than coal and probably railroad, is probably not much there. How do
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The infrastructure is old. It's very old, and it's outdated. And I represent a new force of West Virginians that recognize how old and outdated it is, and we're sick of it. We're actually embarrassed by it because we just see that the more that the Republicans married to it, which, by the way, the Republicans have only been in power here for 11 years. They swept the state in 2014. And so we held the state as Democrats for 80 years before 2014. I call that a thin veneer of billionaire marketing. That's all I call that. That's all it is. It's easy to penetrate, super easy, especially when they're practically starving, if not actually starving. When they can see that he's worried more about dancing in his ballroom than he is about improving their lives or about protecting American farmers or whatever the heck. They know they're not getting their $2,000 tariff check. We all know that. None of us are getting that check, just like we didn't get the Doge check he promised us, just like none of this is real. Like while they're canceling literally all the tariffs on coffee, on basic goods were just all canceled because tariffs are regressive and destructive to the consumer. They know that the costs are getting passed on. And essentially what they wanted to do with these tariffs was hold people hostage in their negotiation, which holding people hostage is a really bad negotiation stance. It's bad faith, which everyone around the world recognizes that us at a negotiating table, we're just always bad faith. If Trump is there, it's bad faith. For me, and to answer your question specifically about bringing us into the future, most people don't even know this, but United Mine Workers of America, one of the chief unions about this issue, they ask a question of candidates, which I expect to actually this have an effect on our campaign here very soon. Are you open to like reskilling, right? Reskilling. First off, I want free trade school, which would be huge for West Virginia because we would have a lot of trade school people ready to go and people that don't have the money but want to go ready to go. So it would be huge for us. This is an economy that is currently dependent and welfare driven, meaning that states like California and New York pay for us. We do not contribute to the national GDP in a way that California does or that New York does. We just don't. And until we do, we're going to continue to suffer. And so essentially, I want to start honing in on making, marketing us correctly, meaning that I'd love to see our markets get liberated and then advertise to the world correctly. Because when I go to the world and I say, listen, West Virginia is a great place for investment. Why is that? Well, first off, it's not as conservative as you thought. Secondly, the land is absolutely gorgeous, like gorgeous. Our properties are just stunning. The Appalachian Mountains are stunning. So there's that. And then it's like there's just so much here to work with. It's a canvas like none other. But until you can see the beauty, you're not going to be able to really sell it. And our Republicans aren't selling it. They're not selling it. They're making it less attractive to the world. They're isolating it with like hyper religious laws, with just everything they do to isolate us by basically catering to a billionaire, a racist billionaire, and driving this Christian nationalist like nonsense at a state legislature level, allowing corporations to dump poop in our waters. And when I say that, I mean it. House Bill 2233 was a lessening of sewage regulations. Like they literally were like, hey, dump more sewage in the water. You're like, what the hell's going on here? These people are so corrupt and so sick and so greedy that they don't care if you dump feces into the public water supply. They just don't care. So what I say is, you can't have democracy unless you have clean water. Countless West Virginians do not have access to clean water. Half of Southern West Virginia is drinking like Flint, Michigan style water, yellow, having to bathe in yellow water. It's just an absolute nightmare. You can't have democracy unless you have clean water. Donald Trump represents sewage in the water. He is why we can't have democracy right now, because we're just dumping sewage into the water. And that's wrong. It's absolutely disgusting and wrong. And democracy is clean water. So he is sewage. There's like layers to this statement, and I hope everyone understands it.
Clear as mud. I'm just kidding.
Clear as mud.
Uncle, do you have any more
Rio.
questions?
Nah, thank you, Rio. That trade school, free trade school, would be a major key. And even in high school, I come from a high school trade school. I learned to be a mill and lay operator, a machinist in high school. and started my big career there. And that would be a huge start. You start showing the young men and women how to use their hands besides a pick and a coal. That would be a great start. Appreciate the answer. Thank you.
Absolutely, Uncle. Thank you.
Thank
Hi,
you
Little
so
Blue.
much, Uncle. So here, if you would be so kind, Mr. Phillips, we are going to
Sure.
switch gears for a moment. And if you have to go, just give me like a 5-minute heads up if your time is being constrained. Okay, I don't want to be disrespectful at all. So
You guys have my full attention.
fabulous. That's wonderful. I love that for us. I am going to switch gears for a moment. It's about 7:20, a little after 7:20, and it's time for Activist Alley. And tonight we have an incredible treat that we are meeting here, Mr. Phillips. We are meeting these two incredible women who have started this organization that helps us protest with our dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, the founders, organizers, geniuses, if you will, that came up with the little blue cart. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. Hang on, I got a button. Awesome. Okay, so first of all, I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves and tell us what your organization is about and what your mission is.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, so I'm Erin, and I am the person that I kind of run TikTok, this account, so that's who you get to blame. And Kate and I are really good friends. We met years ago in Japan when our husbands were stationed in Japan. Her husband was my husband's boss, and she led the wives group for our squadron. And she was so much fun and really smart. And I appreciated her insight on life. We come from different types of backgrounds, and but the military has a way of bringing people from different aspects of life together, which is awesome. And we just remained friends throughout the years, and we lived in the same state of Virginia when the orange turd got reelected. And I was feeling despair and anger, and just decided that I was going to start spending my dollars with businesses where I could control where the dollars went. So Kate and I, we talked about it in a fit of rage one day. We're like, I'm just not going to do this. And Kate was like, me neither. Let's do something about it. And we came up with Little Blue Cart.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Kate. Yeah. And like Erin said, it just started like literally on a text conversation, I think, about hiring a photographer for her senior last year. And I had someone to recommend, and she said, well, I'm not going to hire her unless you know she didn't vote for Trump. And I said, I happen to know she did not vote for Trump. And we were like, that's actually a great idea for a business. We should start a website where you can find and search for small progressive businesses. So we focus on small businesses because they need our support. And we focus on small businesses because if you want to do the research for big corporations and see where they donate, you can do that. It's public. But for small mom and pop stores or one woman show, that information isn't as public. So we wanted to make it, a searchable directory. So whether you're looking for a hairstylist or you want to order some stickers, you can come and try and find someone and know that you're supporting someone who has the same values that you do.
Like this amazing person down here on the bottom of our screen. Welcome back, Lee.
Yes, exactly.
ladies.
Thank you for coming along the journey with us.
Well, I was so excited to find you guys because they had actually mentioned you to me and another creator. She's an influencer, and she's like, "Are you on Little Blue Cart?" And I'm like, "Little Blue Cart? Tell me more." And literally, we were on Jess's podcast, and that day you came on, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, these are the people they're talking about." So I was so excited about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, thank you. It was nice to see you in person again. I didn't have my camera on. I had just gotten out of the shower. It was not appropriate to be seen in public. So.
That's fair.
It's all good.
So tell me, it's right now you have a website. Are you looking at starting an app? Are you, what is the future of the Little Blue Cart? And I want to know how many businesses you have, and is it separated by state? And like, what is the makeup of your website at this point?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So right now we have over 700. I think we're nearing about 750 businesses that are registered on Little Blue Cart. You can search by state. So if you're looking for someone local, or you just, want to buy something from someone in your state, you can do it that way. You can also search by owner demographics. So we have a feature you can search by woman-owned, LGBTQ plus owned, BIPOC owned, disabled owner or employer, and veteran and military spouse owned. So you can search that way. You can search by whether you're looking for a service or you're looking for products. So we do try and make it as easy as possible, knowing that the model is a directory. So we don't list all their products, right, on that site. It's really about finding a place, and then you go off to their website and you look around and you order. But we are really, really happy at how quickly it's grown. I mean, we launched in January, which I guess it's about 10 months old, because I can't believe it's already November.
I know.
But it's really, the response has been amazing. And I think it's because people feel the same way we do, that, we've marched, we've protested, we voted, but now we need to change these everyday behaviors to take money away from people who don't give a damn about us and put it toward people who have shared values and are working towards the same future. So I think it's an easy message to resonate with right now, the way everyone's feeling. And so we're just really, really proud to have so many people join with us, whether they're shoppers or small businesses.
Do you know off of the top of your head how many businesses from West Virginia, if any, have signed up with you guys?
I don't.
I should look it up right now.
No, but I tell you, so we launched the directory. We were, Kate and I had been talking about doing a market, and the only reason why that came up is because we were being asked, like with any small business, you start out with a product or a service, and it only grows because your customer base requests, growth from you. And so that's exactly what happened with Little Blue Cart. So we in order to be able to do the market, we ended up having to redo the directory, which we're thrilled about, because it has become the ability to search by state. That's a new feature we just were able to have. What else was it that it feels like
just talking about the future, you can talk about the market.
Yeah.
And then
can we? Oh, yeah. So we're actually we are launching. I'm actually here because we were supposed to have launched tomorrow, but we are launching our market where you can actually have your storefront on Little Blue Cart Market and sell directly from the site. So it will be like a searchable by item type of thing, where you would go and search and shop. Yes, shop for all your Christmas needs and birthday and all the celebrations. So that is starting up. We already have we have a creators council that we established, and those creators are online right now, setting up their shops and getting started. So yeah, lots of growth, but it is so much fun. It's nervous. It makes you nervous and you're excited, and all the feelings of of growth. So we're really excited. But in an app, you asked specifically, that is going to be the next thing that we do. We have got to iron out both the directory and this marketplace to where they're running, and then app is
next.
That is next.
So the market, is it going to be like an Etsy type of market or something like it? So that's already there, and you can open up your own little market store inside of that Little Blue Cart
soon. It hasn't launched yet. We're so close. Like Erin said, that's one of those things that we, when we started Little Blue Cart in January, that was not on our radar at all. I remember the first time a business listed, said, will you guys ever have a marketplace and let us sell directly on your website? And we were like, no, that's not the point. But then a couple months later, sure enough, with the alligator Alcatraz stuff on Etsy, more and more people were like, I'm looking for a replacement. We want to leave Etsy. Like this isn't,
Oh, they
you know, I don't
definitely-
want my stuff sold next
Oh
to them.
yeah. And like we
And,
have our stuff on Etsy, and a
Yeah.
lot of our customers refuse to go there
Wow.
because
Yeah.
Etsy, they refuse, like literally point blank. We have an influencer. I'm sure you know who she is. It's Christina Talks Tea. And Christina
Yes.
Talks Tea, she has a huge platform. She's like 1 million followers across all of her platforms. And her people are diehard. Like they love her. We get orders for her stuff all the way from Australia. People love her.
Yeah.
But they will refuse to go to Etsy, and they let her know in her comment section, we won't go there because and they don't shop on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's no other place for them to go. So
Right.
we're in the process of opening up our own website.
Yep.
And until that happens, they won't go to Etsy, and so they just won't buy the stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
they won't go to Etsy. They
We
won't go.
some of the makers and small businesses that are listed on Little Blue Cart, they only have an Etsy storefront right now, and we've gotten feedback from shoppers like, you directed me to Etsy. I don't shop at Etsy.
Yep.
I'm like, I totally understand.
Yeah.
And you know, just from talking both, like I mentioned, those sorts of shoppers, and then the businesses that are listed with us, there was a desire and a need for a place where when you go shop there, you know, you're not going to accidentally you find maybe a progressive mug and you don't look at their full shop and realize they're also selling a mug.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you're not going to find anyone selling those products. And then businesses don't have to worry about a search result coming up for a political tee next to an alligator Alcatraz t-shirt. You know, like it's sounds so silly, but it is a safe place. Like we're going to be hate free. It's just taking the Little Blue Cart, you know, mission and making it bigger. So it is really exciting. And literally any day we get to push publish and tell the world to come check it out and support these amazing, amazing small progressive businesses. So
And
I love that so
and,
much.
And the thing about that I'm absolutely convinced of is that our current political climate is owned wholly by the large corporations and
Yes.
the people
Yep.
who, like the Walmarts and the Bezoses and the Zuck, you know, all of the buzzwords, right? And I think that their goal is to crush small business into a fine
Yes.
powder, so it doesn't exist and there's no competition for them. So I love seeing stuff like this, and I would encourage you, Rio. I know you're still here and you're listening, so thank you so much for
I have
sticking
one
with
question.
us. Absolutely, but I would encourage you to, when you are out and about and talking to your soon-to-be constituents, especially the small business owners in West Virginia who are being absolutely pulverized with tariffs and with all of the things that they're experiencing right now, to get in touch with these women so that they can be a part of the solution for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need community glue. That's community glue. You're talking about community glue. That we need it, especially as we're trying to build progressive community in Trump world, which is difficult, very difficult. The one question I have for you is a little bit. It's a bit of a joke, only because in the world of the big beautiful bill. Have you thought about being a big blue cart? I don't want to do it little. I want to do big blue shopping.
I mean, that's fair, and we hope that people just fill it up like it's a big cart.
Fill it up like it's a big blue cart. Put all the progressive products in the big blue cart.
we should,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We
There
have to
should
have
be
some
some
kind of
marketing
promo.
campaign
Yes.
about,
Here's what I'm gonna do. If it's okay with you, Rio, because that was gold. That was absolute gold. And I love seeing stuff like this, a moment that will live on in It Takes a Village infamy right here. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you're okay with it, I'm gonna clip that. And I'm gonna send it to these ladies so that they can use it. So they can use it. Is that okay with you?
They call that accordion hands.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He's got accordion hands. He's playing an accordion.
I love
amazing.
it. That's awesome. Yeah. So if you're okay with that,
Yeah, of course.
But-
yeah.
but-
and
and
I That's the only thing is that when we go up against like Trump MAGA branding, which is just like everything's the greatest, it's like I would just propel you to be a giant blue cart.
I love it. I love it so much.
Any which way you could be an actual giant cart. Like you might be called little blue cart, but let your marketing be like we're big and blue, right? Yeah, like it's not so little.
You got to use the little tiny plastic hands when you do it too, though. Like,
Little tiny, not so
Makes
little.
everything look big.
Yeah.
Little hands makes everything look big.
I love it. So, can you guys tell me? We talked about the future of the little blue cart, but I want to know. I asked Rio this earlier, and I know you guys weren't in the room yet, but we talk about the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? We are not being hit with straws. We're being hit with the whole damn camel. It's very uncomfortable. So what was the straw, the camel that broke your guys' back that pushed you into action to launch this? As I know you guys were talking about it, but what was the catalyst that just was like, that's it, I'm done?
I think what it was is just that it wasn't one thing. It was the fact that he got elected. And we knew that what it was going to be like. I mean, Kate and I are very aware of. We take action. We call our senators, our representatives. We watch the news. We read the headlines. We hear what everybody has to say. So we're politically aware. So we knew what the impact were going to be with them being president. Mm-hmm. So Kate has been actively. Doing things politically for years, and she's a great role model. And as she says, is that, everybody has a form of activism that they're able to do. This is a form of activism that we are choosing to do, that we don't feel like, we don't have to go to a protest, even though we still do. And, we don't have to call our senators, but though we still do, but it is something that people can do that they don't have to feel like they have to go and do those things. So I would like to say that there was a story or an instance, a situation. It was that he got elected.
Yeah. I mean, we had in my kitchen table where we, brainstormed Little Blue Cart and came up with the idea and built the website and all of those things for months beforehand. We'd been meeting to write postcards and call people. Yeah. And, we were working really hard to make sure he wasn't elected again. And we're obviously devastated when he was, because like Erin said, we knew what it meant. And so it literally, I think, we went, yeah. Sorry, that's too much. The night of the election, we got on the metro and we went into Howard. Like we were ready to celebrate. Yeah. We were with teenage girls there to see you celebrate the first woman being elected president. And so we went home brokenhearted, like knew what it meant. Yep. And so literally it was a conversation a couple days later that where we just said, okay, this is what we can do now. Like we've done all the things. This is how we can make a difference, is by choosing who to spend our money with and not giving it to people who supported him, basically. Mm-hmm. Like if you support him, that agenda, you're not getting a dime of mine if I can help it. So we just wanted to make it easier for people. And like Erin said, it can be a form of activism. You're making a statement with where your money goes. And so we like to think that maybe it can be a little bit of a gateway for other people to activism. Like maybe at first you feel comfortable, just staying at home and shopping. But in our newsletter, every other week, we include don't forget to call these people about this week, and so we do hope that it is sort of a gateway. It's a little step that people can do. And if it becomes part of your habit, then you're not even thinking about it. Right. It's just, changing where your money goes, redirecting it with intention to progressive businesses. So, yeah.
I used to be a small business owner as well as Kate, and but I used to sell items. And when Trump was president the first time, I had a parent that was like, "You should sell MAGA hats. You'd make a fortune." And I was like, "Absolutely not. I will not make a single MAGA merch at all. I don't care how much money I can make doing it." And so therefore, I know what it's like to be a small business owner, to sell items and not sell MAGA merch. You do not have to sell it in order to make a living. There are plenty of people that are going to appreciate the items that you can make and it not be something, it doesn't even have to be politically motivated. That is not a requirement for being on Little Blue Card. You don't have to wear your activism in your items that you sell. It's just you vote for our democracy. You share the same values. You believe that people should have equal rights no matter what your skin color and what your identity is. Like none of that, we all are equal, should be equal. And so therefore that's the requirement, not that what you sell as far as merch. We have a very wide range of businesses. We love it, actually. My children are shopping from the cart for their Christmas presents this year. So
I had the same thing happen to me. People actually asked me, somebody very close to me said, well, why don't you just sell for both sides of the aisle? And I'm like, because I don't sell my soul. Like, what's wrong with you?
Like, 'cause I have integrity.
No, my soul's not for sale. It's not for me. Like opening, my daughter and I, when we did this, for me, it wasn't because we were trying to make money. Of course, we're a small business, so obviously we need to make money. But for us, it was a movement. It was what we felt. It was our actual true belief in what it is that we knew to be good for the country. It wasn't a grift. And that's what, when people are doing that, when they're selling both sides of the aisle, for me, that's literally you trying to make a buck off of whatever you can.
Right. Yeah.
And for us, it's never been that. And it never will be. Like you will never catch me ever. Not ever.
Yeah.
Not ever.
Ever.
Yep. So it's easy, and it's just Kate, like she said in the newsletter that we have, it's fantastic because there are ideas of what you can do. Some of them are very easy. Some of them can be very intimidating. Calling your representative is very intimidating. I don't care how many times you call. I still get like, a euphoric, like, hi, I get all nervous and excited and everything all at the same time, because you just want to be able to be heard by people that have an influence. And so when you call them, you want to be able to get your words right and your thoughts together. So, but the newsletter has a lot of great ideas on what you can do if you want to do more than just shop.
Do you guys have a Substack?
No.
Oh, you should start one.
So I've thought about it. But they're just two of us.
I know. Well, okay, but there's only there's only two of us already. Too, right? Kayla, tell him the Kayla. It's just two of us too. And we've all of your newsletters could go on your Substack and get sent out to everybody right away. And like any videos you guys do, it goes automatically out to all like the tube and stuff automatically. You don't. It's. We'll talk. It's very easy. Okay.
That's definitely it's crossed our minds.
How about this? We will definitely look at it when the market is up and running. It is, this market has been super, and it's, we just want to be able to focus all of our attention on getting that right. And so the directory was pretty easy to relaunch just because it was pretty much done. Kate has cultivated it through the months. And so we were just getting in some fine tuning and some new features on it. So
I remember 37 whole years ago when Bud Light sent a 6-pack of beer to influencers all over the United States. And these influencers, and one of them happened to be a trans woman.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you remember how MAGA responded to that and the complete earthquake that they instilled by using their dollars as weapons, right?
Yeah.
And the mountains they were able to move, they've always been really good at doing that. Not always the smartest, by the way. But they've always been really good about doing that.
It defeats the purpose if you go buy it to shoot it up in your backyard.
That's
not
what
quite.
I'm saying. Like, if you go buy the thing, they still get your money. So, not always the smartest, but they've always been really good at that. And I always know that the Democrats, Rio we talked about this earlier. We've always been the high road people. We've always been the high road people. We always do the right thing. We always say, we always mind our P's and Q's. We don't want to shake the boat too much, right? Like that when they go low, we go high. It's always been that way. And that's why we have so much representation right now that doesn't meet the moment that we are in. Mm-hmm. But we as Democrats and progressives have got to get together to start taking a lesson from them and get in the dirt and use our dollars to protest.
If I may,
Absolutely.
I'd like to stress and center the Palestinian issue for a second, because I do feel that Palestinian liberation and equality and human rights are at the center of this new progressive movement. Thanks to Mondani, thanks to Bernie, thanks to AOC, the only pro-Palestinian representation of any kind that seems to step into the halls of power. The BDS movement, the boycott, divestment, and sanction movement that has successfully helped to educate millions of people about what financial streams find their way to Israel and what don't. It is an incredible model, the BDS model. And essentially, progressive culture is a rejection of authoritarianism, and all financial streams to authoritarianism do need to be cut. And they're moving to criminalize us as Democrats at such a fast rate that it's you're like, play dirty, get low. You don't have to do that so much as just have teeth and claws and muscle, because it seems like, and that is largely financial. Yes, we vote daily with the dollar, and it's critical that we are not contributing our hard-earned money to authoritarianism in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely critical. So, you kind of build on the BDS model of let's not finance war criminals. Because I do see that Trump will be essentially right beside Bibi at The Hague probably when this is all over. That sure looks like the trajectory. Right next to Putin at The Hague as well. Mm-hmm. The whole lot of them, and all of us with our money nice and clean, no blood on our hands. That's sounds like a great idea to me. So I'm all for it, guys. I really stand behind what you're doing.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. So before we let you go, I would love for you to tell people how to get involved, where they can sign up for your newsletter, and what they can do this holiday season with their dollars. So,
so we have littlebluecart.com. And then on there, you can sign up for a newsletter at the very bottom. And then you can go shop. There's when you first go there, you can go straight to the directory from there, or straight to specific groups of folks. So that's what I would suggest. Go to littlebluecart.com. And then Kate has a fabulous resource for Christmas.
For holiday shopping, we have a buying guide that features, different gift ideas for different, no matter who you're shopping for. And of course, every gift idea is from vendors and businesses on Little Blue Cart. So we love that. And also, I think in the link in the account, in the Little Blue account on TikTok, it should have all the links to sign up for a newsletter, to find the buying guide, to check us out and visit everything. There's also a way, if you're a small business owner, to register and submit your business. We do check it over and make sure that you align with our values, and that you sign and commit to our shared beliefs. Mm-hmm. And then we can get you up. And we're so excited to keep growing, and are hoping to have 1,000 businesses by the end of the year.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, we are just so grateful for the opportunity to share about Little Blue Cart. We're so excited about it, passionate about it to keep growing, and yeah, share with more and more people so they can shop our amazing small businesses.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And it's free. You don't have to pay to join. So there are paid levels just as exposure, but you do not have to pay. It is a free directory.
Amazing.
And I just went on the website, everybody, and it is quite clear that there's going to be a lot of trajectory here, upward trajectory, upward growth, upward momentum, lots of community glue. This is great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Very, very cool.
The community part has been a unexpected huge benefit. Like I can't even just meeting and building community with like-minded small business owners has been such a wonderful reward. It's so impactful the way, one purchase can really make or break someone's entire holiday season. So it's great that everyone is supporting one another and really trying to lift up our community and our mission. So it's awesome.
I offer up a possible marketing line. You know how they say stay local, right? You could say stay moral. This is a streamlining of dollars. When you keep the dollars inside the community, it's the same as shopping local. So shop moral, I like this shop moral concept. Like keep the money in with.
You
the
might
people
see
that
these
stand.
again, and you'll be like, these sound vaguely familiar.
It's gonna be huge.
Huge.
It's gonna be the biggest blue card in the whole world. That's right.
He's got the.
Well, we really appreciate you asking us to join you
thank you.
tonight. It meant a lot. This is our first live, and so we really appreciate it. We were awkward. We didn't get our background figured out, but we'll get it next time. Next time.
Next time, we know you guys are welcome here anytime. And about community, really quickly,
Thank you.
It's something I talk about a lot is that Americans have been really good about building ourselves into these really nice, tall, secure silos, right? And as long as it's not impacting us directly, then we don't care. Blinders on, but you guys are part of the It Takes a Village family now too. And our community continues to grow. So when somebody needs a cup of sugar, they're going to go to the Little Blue Cart to get it. And they're going to help not just help support a small business, but they're going to help a little girl get ballet lessons, or they're going to help a little boy take karate lessons, or they're going to help somebody make a car payment. Like these are things that make a humongous impact to our community as a whole. So that you guys are doing this is so incredible. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you, because it's not something little. It's not, and I know that you guys have been working your asses off to get it launched. And you guys see the beauty and the marvel that it is because you've been working your asses off. But as somebody from the outside looking in, I can see the marvel and the beauty too. And you guys have so much to be proud of. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you guys
That's
do.
very kind.
We need it. That was a well-timed pep talk. Thank you.
Yes, I am very good at that. If you ever need a pep talk, you just
I'll let you know when we hear it.
While you're clipping things, if you just want to clip that for us, and we'll whenever we're having a bad day.
Just run it on a loop. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Amazing. So thank you guys so much for joining you. I'm going to go ahead and drop you now so we can get
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's nice meeting everyone.
You are welcome here anytime. Please sign up for Substack. I am doing a series on my Substack about badass women who are changing the face of politics, and I would love to send you guys some questions to answer so I can write an article about you if you wouldn't mind.
Excellent.
Amazing.
We would love that.
We'd love it.
Okay, fabulous. And I will be in touch with you via email, Erin. So
Yay, sounds good.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It was wonderful to meet you. Rio, did you have any closing questions for our guests tonight?
No, just keep it up.
At the moment.
Thank you.
Just keep scaling. Don't stop. Just scale. Any which way within moral bounds.
That's right.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Get
Thank
it.
Thank you so much. It was nice seeing you guys.
It was wonderful to have you here. Thank you.
Okay.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
So we are closing. We're getting ready to close here, folks. So thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Thank you to Aria, who came up earlier to talk to us about the show of shenanigans going on in New Hampshire tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was before you came on. Just to give you a little wrap up here, both of the senators from New Hampshire voted to reopen the government after, 50 something days, and they got nothing. So they've got a little bit of work to do in New Hampshire to get representatives in there that meet the moment. And there was an issue with a heckler.
Are they both not up for re-election? Because I was under
Yeah.
the assumption that everyone that voted with the Republicans is not running again, which means that there's
Not
opportunity.
true.
That's what you're saying.
There's one of them is retiring, but her daughter is running for her seat. And then the other one is not up for re-election until 2028. So, a little hanky there. But there was an issue with a
Interesting.
heckler who was a heckler. They're spinning the narrative that it was just some random heckler, but this person is actually running for they're a state state house representative. And if I'm messing this all up, Kayla, please tell me. But there was some shenanigans, and we needed to clear the air. And we had somebody on who was able to talk about exactly what's happening up there, and boots on the ground activist who's working to make things better for people in New Hampshire. So I know they're like pretty close to you up there in New Hampshire. So
Very
yeah,
interesting.
he's running for Congress. Can you drop his name, Kayla? But they're trying to spin it like it was just some random heckler, but it's Heath Howard.
It's Heath Howard.
Yes. So you know who
I know
he is.
Heath Howard.
Yeah.
I do know Heath. Yeah.
So there's probably a little bit of beef there. So
Interesting.
amazing.
Heath is actually, I believe, he is if I'm not mistaken, he's on crutches. He is a warrior, dude. That guy is like, you can just tell, a million other people in his position would be like, I don't have the energy for this. I gotta give it to Heath. Heath is
he's good.
He's a fighter. He's clear cut, good people, clear cut fighter. Yep.
And he doesn't take any BS either. So yeah. Hi, Kayla. Thank you for coming up.
Hi, guys. Yeah, so Heath is
Hello.
amazing. He is a great guy. And we just did it in New Hampshire. We just didn't want people to sweep it under the rug because it was horrendous that you get called out for you being a naughty person and doing the wrong thing. Then they're just saying, oh, it's just a heckler, where it's actually a state rep who is very laid back. When you get Heath mad, you know that there's shenanigans going on. But yeah, I don't think both of them are running. I know one's retiring, and I don't think the other one's running. And I think they're up at 2026. I'll have to look, but I think we're voting on them this coming up 2026.
One of them's retiring in 26, and the other one isn't up for re-election until 2028. So,
Oh, well, it's going to be a long 2 years for her.
Well,
and just to give you guys an idea, like Heath Howard, New Hampshire on YouTube, 22 subscribers. So y'all are platforming one of the very unknown candidates, which I respect you for doing that. I also thank you. Also, I'm very grateful for you platforming me as well, because I'm working to build a larger platform, and
Sure.
Heath is. He's really at the beginning. This video has 27 views. I know exactly what that's like. My videos on YouTube are smaller than this. So,
I get it.
Yep, he's everywhere. Like he's at every community event. He's everywhere. And we are trying to get all of our progressive grassroots candidates together here on going in one direction and supporting each other here in New Hampshire. That's why we had Aria, who is like one of the local voices here. We're just trying to get everyone on board and getting everyone going in the same direction because we need to get our governor out and the Free Staters out. We just can't take it anymore. So anyway, thank you. And thank you
Interesting.
for coming and spending time with us tonight, Rio. Appreciate it.
I'm very grateful, guys. And to anyone out there that's watching still, if you want to help us, we do have to cross some fundraising goals before the end of 2025. We've got a month and a half or so to meet those goals. And so anything you can do, like we are deeply grateful for, we stretch very little, very far. And essentially the goal that we're looking to cross at this point is a $5,000 fundraising goal that creates legitimacy on the trail. We expect to raise dramatically less and do dramatically more than our competitors, just all the way through. But getting past that $5,000 marker, going into 2026, going into the primary season is critical for legitimacy and critical for greater fundraising goals. So we have to meet that one and make sure that everyone knows we're actually in this. We're not standing down. We're going into the primaries just roaring and ready to go. And the fundraising that we do right now specifically goes to two things. One is meeting that $5,000 metric, which is a federal election metric, so that you don't have to report your fundraising until you go over 5,000. So that's the rule. And so they don't even know. Nobody knows. And let's say you raise 4,900, it doesn't get reported. Everyone thinks you raised nothing. That's just how it works. And it's really wild. So if you donate now, you help us get across the 5,000 metric of legitimacy that now requires that we report and start being more visibly available to larger donors. That's big. And then the second part is in January, we file a 1740 filing fee. That's $1,740 filing fee, which is 1% of the salary of the U.S. senator. So $174,000 a year. So I have to pay in order to run for that office $1,740. So if you donate, you help us put 1740 together, you help us put 5,000 together, you help the working class to stand toe to toe with the elites, and that's what that is. So I really appreciate everything you can do. And in January, we're planning a huge primary launch party, actually for December 31, so that we're the first ones in January saying, let's go 2026. This is the year of the working class. This is the year of the progressives. We're going to send a loud message to West Virginia and the world on January 1st. Happy New Year. Are you ready?
Here we come.
And so coming out of the gates, just rocking. And that's the goal. So anything you donate is a part of that upward momentum that we're feeling right now. And we are deeply grateful for that. So thank you, guys.
That is amazing. Linda says, buy some Rio merch. I got my t-shirts today and they probably look fire. So
Linda, you gotta show us.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you want a box to show us your shirts, Linda, I would be more than happy to give you one. Uncle Daddy wants to know when your primary is, and obviously your election's in November, but when is your primary?
Starts January, ends on May 12th, right?
May 12th.
So we'll be running. So here's the plan. Primary launch party December 31st, going into 2026. Now, because you're in the dead of winter, normally that would be prohibitive. It is prohibitive. It means less people at an event. It means less outside action. It's prohibitive. You can't have, I don't know, all sorts of stuff.
It's so cold.
All the fun stuff happens in summer. I have to win the primary to do the fun stuff in the good weather. There is, it's really going to ramp a lot. Like everything is ratcheting. It's ratchet. fire between me and the competitor, which we didn't even get into who he is or any of that, right? So
I don't say
if
his
anyone's
name.
curious, reach out to me and we'll do a debrief on who this guy is and why we think we're going to be so successful against him.
Mhm.
But it is going to be a wild 2026, absolutely wild. From the streets to the Senate, the people, the working class of West Virginia on the ups. And it's thanks to people like you who give us the time of day and care about our struggle, that we will, we do plan to win, and we plan to win with the help of people like you. So I really can't mince words. I'm so deeply grateful for the time and the platform. Truly.
Of course. I'm not counting West Virginia out. I'm not even close. I think West Virginia's got a lot of fight, and you are showing that every single day. So, folks, this is just a reminder to all of you. We know how we feel about big money in politics, right? But if these grassroots candidates have a chance, a snowball's chance in hell, that money has to come from somewhere. So whether it's your wallet or your time, even if it's just a follow, pushing out their content, and you can do that for free. But honestly, buy Rio a cup of coffee, buy him a yard sign, do what you can to help push this guy towards the finish line, because every single penny makes a huge difference. I know we're not making pennies anymore.
If I may just, thank
Sure.
you for saying that. We actually do have, just for information's sake, this link that you see on the screen is the link in my bio. So you can literally just go to my page, click the link in my bio, takes you to the official Act Blue portal, which is all approved and safe and everything. I highly advise that. If you want to, we have merch, right? We've got t-shirts that are there's 100 different colors. You can get it in whatever color. There's hoodies. All of them come with QR codes on the back. So let's say you're campaigning, you're talking to people, and you don't have a piece of literature, business card, whatever. Turn around, let them scan the back, and now they're at the website watching my fundraising video. Welcome to 2026. We don't need trees. We don't need to make paper. I have business cards. That's it. I don't want big laminates. I don't want any of that. The merch is a way of putting funds into the campaign while also putting a tool of recruitment on you. So huge into that. I'm trying to get as many West Virginians wearing the gear, making the content as I can make it possible, because I know that's what will win us the campaign. So I know Republicans aren't putting on Shelley Capito gear, which is the millionaire, billionaire's puppet, total protector of the P3DOs in the White House. They don't have gear. They don't have a team. They're not making pro Capito content. We will have, ideally, a small army of pro Rio content creators wearing the gear and just driving the working class straight to the algorithm constantly. And that is the goal. And we are, I don't want to say halfway there, but we are on the path. And as January strikes and December hits, it's just going to be like, wow, we are doing this. We're in this. We want to win, and we are not messing around. It's getting to that point, and it's exciting. Man, it's exciting. Hanging out with people that stand for the same thing, and we go out there. Just as an example, a couple of people, supporters, and I think Sarah might even still be in here watching. We were out shooting these photos downtown Charleston, West Virginia. The three of us as a team, which is amazing because I used to struggle to get one person to go out and do content. So now we've got three people and we're all making content. And then this woman drives up in a truck and she's just like, is that Rio Phillips? And she's just like, this guy's for the working class. I've seen what you put out there and I am so behind you. And this just happens organically. And we're like, mind explode.
Beautiful moment.
Beautiful moment. Did you see the video that we put out? It was special. And anybody can go watch that. We want to collect those organic moments because we just want to bring a platform for the unheard and for the unplatformed and for the marginalized. And the more that we do that, the more we'll see these organic moments happen. And we want to be West Virginia's Mamdani. We want to be West Virginia's Bernie. We want to be what we know we can be, and we're not standing down from that. And It doesn't matter that I have a beard or that I don't wear the suit and tie like they do like all the time. And it doesn't matter that I have tattoos. In fact, in the world where we're going, these are assets and not hindrances. And so I'm trying to smash open those doors basically and say, I'm done wearing your suit and tie. I'm done wearing your uniform. I don't want to play your game. I don't want to look like you. I don't want to sound like you. I don't want to do anything like you. I definitely don't want to dress like you. So I'm not.
I mean, if John Fetterman can show up in cargo shorts to the Senate floor, I think that you're probably safe. So,
This is what I'm saying. It's time to open it up, right? And like West Virginians, they have giant beards and long hair and a bunch of tattoos, and none of the politicians look anything like them.
That's right.
So, time to change it. That's all I'm
for
saying.
Government of the people. But we have to win the game first. If we're going
like
to
Sarah
change
says,
the
the
rules.
John Brown Brigade. She's got it. It's all about the John Brown energy.
Yes.
So just a little secret. Here's what I'm leading up to. These rallies next year, as the primary kicks off, I'm calling them Take Down the Tyrants, right? TD-double-T. This is going to be our Charlie Kirk thing where we go on campuses and we talk to people, and it's Take Down the Tyrants. We flip the Charlie Kirk model on its head, and now I'm welcoming any kind of debate or challenge publicly, right?
Love it.
And it's Take Down the Tyrants, and we call out the Republicans, we call out the GOP, and it starts in West Virginia, so we're focusing on GOP puppets that we are considering tyrants over West Virginia, and we're taking them down. And so, like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 4 or 5 of these. They're going to wind up at some very interesting places. Harper's Ferry. Anyone recognize the name Harper's Ferry? We're going to summon John Brown to Harper's Ferry with a Take Down the Tyrants rally at Harper's Ferry. And we are going to basically like summon John Brown at this thing and stand as on business as West Virginians possibly could without any violence whatsoever, right?
Yes.
This is now then going to boil. I want that to spill over into the final event of the campaign trail. I want my final event like days before the election, maybe a month before the election to allow people really to talk about it, but maybe a week. I'm trying to plan it, but this is crazy to say out loud, but an open carry rally for the left at Blair Mountain, which if anybody understands why that would be just an absolute national firestorm of attention. If we were to do an open carry citizens rally at Blair Mountain in Union Solidarity and just rally open carry as West Virginians at Blair Mountain, not only do I know that that would get huge numbers in attendance, just absolutely megalithic numbers, it would ripple across the country.
National recognition. You'd get.
I do expect that that's where this Take Down the Tyrants rally winds up. Take Down the Tyrants Blair Mountain is what I'm planning, and it's start to put that together is like my brain is like what is that going to do to the news cycle? What's that going to do to me? What are they going to say that I am because I'm doing this? All sorts of stuff, right? But we as the left have to look it in the face and own it. The second belongs to us as it belongs to them. The flag belongs to us as it belongs to them. I'm reclaiming my rights. I'm reclaiming my position as an American citizen. I will not support their authoritarian tyranny, but I will use my rights and defend the Constitution and human rights. And I do feel that that's where we're at. And that there are so many people in this campaign that would stand with me at Blair Mountain, that would stand with me at Harper's Ferry, that would turn this whole thing on its head in just a few key moves in the next 6 months. And all eyes on West Virginia. It is a swing state, y'all. It is purple. It is blue. It ain't red. And that I can promise you. We are in the purple stage now. The blue stage is in May and in November next year. But purple's now because MAGA's not out in our streets protesting. They are not out there claiming they're proud of their president. They are not out there just marching around with red hats. And so we are taking the streets with No Kings 1, No Kings 2, and soon to be No Kings 3, which I expect to be the day after Thanksgiving. And that will be talked about here very soon. So everybody keep your eyes on the prize, stay strong, hold the line. This is the moment. The progressives are rising. It's the only thing that can stand up to MAGA authoritarianism, because corporate neoliberalism, rest in peace, gone, done, dead in the water.
I really couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for that. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for running. I know you started as an activist, but now you are neck deep in it, buddy. Like there's no getting around it. You are honestly so refreshing to hear how things are going in West Virginia and how you plan to serve your community. And I think that's great.
This extended support is really appreciated. I know you're in Texas, but you paying attention to what matters in West Virginia. Thank you. 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 We appreciate all the national extended support. We really need it. We need people out there listening to what's going on here. And it's hard to get the message out. So this is important, and I'm very grateful.
Here's the thing I'm going to tell you. If we voted out Ted Cruz, which I want to vote him out so bad. If we voted him out tomorrow, it's not going to fix what's going on in our country. If we voted out John Cornyn tomorrow, it's not going to fix what's going on in our country. We have to work together to build these communities, not just with West Virginia, but we've got to do it in Montana. We've got to do it in Wyoming. We've got to do it in Florida and New Hampshire and South Carolina. We've got to do it everywhere, right?
I see.
So that's kind of where we are. We're starting to build. We're building a community, and it's not just senators. It's not just House members. It's city council members. It's school board members. It's anybody running for office who has the passion and the gumption to want to serve and to help to make things better for their neighbors. And that's what this is all about. This is to inspire. And you, sir, have done such an amazing job of that. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining our tiny little postage stamp of a platform tonight to share your story, to let the people of West Virginia know that they are not alone. And it
does take a village.
It takes a village. But by reminding the people of West Virginia that they're not alone, you are also reminding the rest of the nation that they are not alone as well. So I thank you so much for taking the hit, for stepping up, and for being the face for West Virginia Senate and being the politics of the future. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. I would be absolutely remiss, folks, if I did not send a special thank you to our incredible content creators who are here to support us today, as well as our amazing, wonderful design genie, producer, extraordinaire BFF in New Hampshire, the K-Law. Please follow her. Follow everybody in here. All 9 of you, go follow everybody. Let's build a community. The show isn't just about me and the K-Law. The show is about all of us coming together to make positive change. So all those things I mentioned before for Rio about sharing the content, pushing out the lives, doing all the things, do those for us too, because we're still a baby endeavor. And we're doing everything we can to grow our presence so we can help as many grassroots candidates as possible. Just a reminder, we have merch. And every single dollar that we bring in goes back out towards these grassroots efforts, whether it's a candidate, whether it's an activist. We send every single dollar to do as much impact as we can, and our merch is fire. So Rio, I know you're talking about building a small little army, but it's going to be a massive army of grassroots efforts, and we have a shirt for that too. So if you want one, go check it out in my showcase. Just a reminder, folks, to check your voter registration status by going to vote.gov. And I never, ever thought that I would have to say this, but you're going to have to follow your choice after you make it because they're doing some hanky stuff. And we just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up. So make sure that you're following your choice after it's been counted. So This has been so incredibly inspiring, Rio. Thank you so much. And I know that we have a whole lot of folks who are very scared right now, especially people in the marginalized communities, LGBTQ, the, unhoused. A lot of people are very, very, very scared. But I want to remind everyone that the fear is the point. The fear is the point. Fear leads to panic. Panic leads to inaction. And that is what they're banking on. They're banking on us not
That part.
acting. So
That
act.
part.
Okay? Community and
Mhm.
hope. Everything that we experienced here tonight, that's the antidote for all of it.
And let's keep this going throughout the primary season. Like, I'd like to be a regular from here to May and November. I do promise you this. I'm gonna call the future right now, okay? Regardless of the results of the primary, which we do expect to win, regardless of the results, I will not be conceding. I will run, possibly, however I need to shift, and not to the Republicans, possibly to the I next to my name only.
Fair.
I will run all the way to the general.
Love it.
So
love
I
it.
would love to continue showing up and continuing to, platform each other basically, because this is an alignment. We have to, it's the rising tide that raises all ships. So let's go.
The
I'm
rising
here for it.
tide does
Thank you
raise
so
all
much,
ships,
guys.
but some of us are on driftwood and some of us are in yachts. So we gotta fix that part too.
I'm on the driftwood.
Me too. Like, barely hanging on.
Let's go.
At least Rose
We
had
all
a
just have to
door.
hold on to each other's driftwood right now.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We got to build community. So thank you guys so much for following and for hanging out with us. Today is Monday. And on Friday, we have an amazing candidate who's going to join us. And I cannot wait to talk to her. Shelby Campbell from, I believe she's from Michigan. She's like you, Rio. She's got more personality in her little pinky than all the state of Texas. She's amazing. John, sir, be sure to follow us on our Substack Spotify app. Not Spotify. We canceled our Spotify. You guys should cancel your Spotify too. Apple Podcasts and the tube of you. And if I could make a quick plea, we would absolutely love it if you just pop right on over there and leave us a review. It would really help us get more eyes on our content, help us grow our platform, and really help us make a bigger impact for these amazing grassroots candidates who absolutely need as much help as they can get. A couple of announcements, just really quick housekeeping here. The People Sick Day is teaming up with the nationwide Blackout the System, and those dates are November 25th through December 2nd. Do what you can to participate. Shop small if you absolutely need to shop small. That's why we brought the little blue cart in here so you can take part in that. Call in sick if you can. Cancel your streaming services if you can. Do what you can to disrupt the system and send a very strong message to these people that we aren't going to take it anymore. Okay? Also, if you are interested in really, really making some positive change and you have time on your hands, or not even a whole lot of time, whether you're 5 minutes or 5 hours, you can phone bank for Afton Ben, who is the next election coming up on December 2nd. She's from Tennessee, and she is fantastic. So you can go to BlueSue.org to find out how you can phone bank for Afton Ben. And we're not done yet, because December 23rd, there's another special election in South Carolina, for Colonel Chuck Hightower. All of these people need our support. All of these people need as many minutes as you can spare. So please go to bluesue.org to figure out how you can be a part of the change we need to see. Okay? We've got to win the game if we want to change the rules. So there we go. I appreciate all of you guys taking the time.
And you need a full-on podcast, Political Jess. Your radio voice is next level. You need a full-on podcast. Like,
I don't know.
You got the dang voice down.
I don't know if you know this. I'm actually a voice actor, so I do this for.
Yeah, you got it.
I've got audiobooks and like all the things. So yes, I do this a lot. This is sort of my gig. So
This is what I do.
This is what I do. Yes.
This is how I sound.
This is how I sound. I love it. Thank you so much, Rio, for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat,
Thank you, guys.
for hanging out for as much as you can. You can catch the replay of this episode. I will send you the link as soon as it gets up. It'll probably be like Wednesday at the very latest. And then you guys can check out the full episode there if you're just popping in. Otherwise, I want you guys to take care of each other. Remember that Thanksgiving doesn't have to be celebrated with exorbitant amounts of food, especially right now when so many people are suffering with food insecurity. You can make soup kits, which is what we are doing. We are building soup kits. We probably have, I have dozens of them put together, and they're just canned goods that you put in a Ziploc bag with a little recipe card that tells you how to put everything together, and it feeds a family of 4. It's got all of the all the things in it that you need. So do that instead of spending $135 for a piece of prime rib, please. Let's help our communities out. That's all that I've got. So is there anything else that you wanted to add, Rio, before we sign off tonight?
Up with the working class, down with authoritarianism. Let's go progressive. Let's go blue wave. 2026, up with all of us. Rising tide. The ships are up. Let's roll.
Let's roll. Thank you all so much for being here. Take care of each other, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
It
Later,
takes
everybody.
a village, because for all